Get ready.
This is the voice of Wayne America.
Lighten up, Francis.
With your host,
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Mike Carnes.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers?
By height.
Only at WayneAmerica.com.
The supernova's gonna kill us all.
Okay, this guy is the real zero, that's true. Just think back when you guys were freshmen, huh?
.com.
Greetings from Wayne America. This is the Voice of Wayne America podcast, an exclusive here at WayneAmerica.com. I'm your host, Mike Carnes, and every week here on the big show, we like to sit down with somebody who has some kind of connection to the best community, not just in Nebraska, but in all of America. And that, of course, is right here in Wayne America. And we want to thank our sponsors, including AKA 142 Media. And your business can also be mentioned here as well. You can email me at mike@mikeycproductions.com for more information. The neat thing about living in a small town like Wayne is you get to know a lot of people, and you get to see your community in action, and probably in ways that you maybe not get to see in a big city. And one of the things that I've gotten to see both in my time with the newspaper and now here is seeing people like Wes Blecke work for the community of Wayne as the executive director of the Wayne Area Economic Development. And I have Wes with me on the show this week, but he's going to be speaking in a little different capacity now. He was elected on Tuesday evening at the Wayne City Council. He was officially brought in as the new city administrator. He will be taking over the duties of city administrator on a full-time basis on August 1st. He will be filling in as an assistant city administrator under Lowell Johnson for the month of July, and then we'll be taking over Lowell's position on a full-time basis starting in August. And Lowell has served the city of Wayne quite well during his tenure here as city administrator. So, Wes, congratulations first off on the new job and the new opportunity for you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
All right. I guess the thing first off, we were at the meeting together tonight and got to sit in on the vote, and the vote was unanimous as far as those that were there. There was one councilman that was absent tonight, and then there's a position open right now in the city council. So there's only 6 voting, but a unanimous 6-0 vote. So not anything to worry about as far as that goes. How did you feel about the way that all played out tonight?
Well, you can't be any happier than unanimous consent there. No, it's some administrators will come into a job and saying they have to have that unanimous consent before they would take it. But you know what, disagreements are okay. That's what makes better decisions usually. And so I was prepared for whatever would happen as long as you got the majority. And I'm just ready to latch onto this challenge. It'll be a big challenge, big learning curve for me. But to be able to sit with Lowell for about a month and learn some of the things that are going on right now with the city will be a big advantage to me. Now, I've been attending city council meetings for many, many years, and so I know a lot of what is already going on. So that has definitely helped prepare me for this position, I think.
Now, a lot of people may not know this. A lot of people who have been around Wayne long enough know you as the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. But you do have a background in city administration. Prior to your coming here, you were the city administrator in the town of Ashland, which is a town about the size about 2,500 people, located just west of Gretna and about a half an hour, 45 minutes west of Omaha. So you do have a background in city administration. So this is not a job that you're completely walking into without any prior experience or knowledge in the position.
Right. We'd like to say that Ashland's actually southwest of Gretna. Gretna is just a suburb of Ashland. That was our joke. No, I was city administrator in Ashland for about 3 years, straight out of grad school. Mm-hmm. My background is in public administration. That's what I was schooled in. I have a concentration in budgeting and financial management. So I always thought kind of I'd be on that the policy analyst side and budget analysis and things like that. But got really interested in city administration when I was in grad school, and then had the opportunity to land a job right after grad school with the city of Ashland. So yeah, city of Ashland, there for 3 years, got a lot of experience in a lot of different types of issues with personnel and zoning and things like that. And then I was here with economic development for over 11 and a half years.
Now, and you were in Ashland really in the would have been early 2000s?
2003, yep.
Okay.
January of 2003 to December of 2005.
Okay, and that part of the state really has seen a tremendous amount of growth. I think it's kind of trickling out to Ashland. I think a little more now than it was back then, and I know this because I lived in Gretna for a few years. And actually, I lived out there while you were city administrator. So I do have some memory of the situation out there, and the Gretna area has grown exponentially in the last 15 years, and that is making its way west. And I think some of that growth from Lincoln is also starting to come east as well. So that's a great opportunity for you to step in straight out of grad school into a community situation where there's a lot of looking ahead to the future that needed to take place then.
Yeah, it was, and Ashland was a community of half the population wanted to increase and things like that, and kind of be more on the progressive side, and the other half really was happy with how it was in the good old days. But growth down there is inevitable. I mean, Omaha and Lincoln will get to you at some point. So they're trying to embrace that change now. But when I was there, it was not like it is today. But we had a lot of different things going on with just some cleanup things, like I said, with zoning. You're at the intersection of 3 intersecting state highways, and so it's kind of a big deal. A good transportation hub, and the location you couldn't beat between the Omaha and Lincoln area.
Yeah, it's a really nice little community there in Ashland, and having been through there many times, it's interesting to see how that town has grown in the last 15-20 years, and so that opportunity obviously sets you up well for this opportunity that you're going to be taking over here in August. And I think a bonus to this is that having the opportunity to work alongside the city and probably work a lot with Lowell Johnson as the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. So how did you get this position? How did you get from Ashland to Wayne?
Well, the story there is I followed my wife. She had an opportunity to come up, to Wayne, and us come back home. She had a chance to be director of physical therapy for Wayne State College Sports Medicine at the time, and have a few athletic trainers under her. And she's moved a couple different times. Went to Heartland Physical Therapy, and now at the hospital, and is actually now the director of therapy services up there. So I followed her, really. I mean, what happened, I kind of put my career on hold. And quite honestly, I was going to be a stay-at-home dad. That was my plans, because there was one job that I wanted in Wayne, and it wasn't open. At that time, Lowell would have been probably 58 years old, and he wasn't going anyplace. And so he was kind of my mentor. And I had applied for the director position here, the brand new position with economic development, and did not get that. I had no experience in economic development. I was a city administrator. And we didn't do a lot of that in Ashland. It was more of a bedroom community, and we kind of waited for residential growth to happen. We weren't aggressive with business development or anything like that. Didn't even know what that was back then. And so Lowell kind of said, that's noble and all to be a stay-at-home dad, which I commend those people that can do that. But he said, for your resume and things like that, you may want to consider something else. And the assistant position then they were looking for with economic development. And so I took that. I was offered that by then director Dave Simonson, and he really liked my city background because he didn't have that. So he thought, we were a pretty dynamic duo. I really can say we were. With his background in economic development and mine with city government stuff, we could do some good things. And I think we started the organization very well. And then I was the interim director after Dave left for I think 5-6 months or so. And then in fall of 2009, I was appointed the director for economic development, and I've been here since then.
All right, so he's gone from being a city administrator in a smaller town or a smaller community, got some great experience there, and then got his foot in the door here in Wayne with economic development, and it really kind of helped get him set up for this new opportunity that he's got. And we're going to talk more with Wes here on the Voice of Wayne America podcast. But first off, wanted to answer the question, what does the AKA and AKA 142 Media stand for? It stands for many things, but the most important thing is that AKA 142 Media provides awesome kicking apps that can be downloaded to your phone or tablet. Whether it's your school, your favorite youth sports program, or your local business, AKA 142 Media can build an awesome kicking app that meets your needs. And you can also keep an eye out for the official Wayne America mobile app that's going to be coming very soon. For more information on getting a mobile app designed, get get a hold of Kevin. You can email him at kevin@aka142.com and tell him that Mike sent you. That's aka142 Media. Awesome kicking apps. Talking with Wes Blecke, the soon-to-be outgoing Executive Director of Wayne Area Economic Development and the incoming City Administrator for the City of Wayne. He was awarded that position at the City Council meeting on Tuesday evening, a unanimous vote of the City Council, and so he will officially begin his duties as the Assistant City Administrator on July 1st, and then on August 1st he will take over the City Administrator's job on a full-time basis, and will be the new City Administrator for the City of Wayne. Talk a little bit about your relationship with Lowell, because obviously as the Executive Director of Economic Development, you gotta work hand in hand with a city, whatever city it is that you're representing on these issues, because there's a lot of situations where the city and the economic development are involved in whether it's bringing a new business in or helping a business expand or bringing city services out to a business. There's a lot of stuff that you have to work with the city on. Talk a little bit about your relationship with Lowell and how that has evolved over the years.
Well, I've known Lowell for a lot of years. Kathy, his wife, was my 4th grade teacher in Wakefield, and got to know Lowell. His oldest son was my oldest sister in the same grade. His youngest son was in my other sister's grade in Wakefield. So we've known each other for a lot of years, in different ways. But got to know him a little better when I was in Ashland as a city administrator, and just kind of I leaned on him for a lot of different things, and then of course, obviously, when we came back to Wayne here professionally. But no, Lowell's been great to work with. He's always looking at business. What can we do for business as a city government, even, and usually it's more of get out of the way and let business work, and which I have that same mindset. So Lowell has been he's been really a great tutor for me, and I really appreciate everything he has done for me. Working hand in hand with him on a lot of projects. A lot of people thought we were city employees here. I mean, they just think we're part of the city. And sometimes, really, I kind of consider ourselves like a Department of Economic Development under the city administrator. Lowell's never treated us like that at all. We're very much on the same level playing field. But again, we have to go to the city for a lot of our funding and things like that. And Lowell, has a lot of influence over a city functions like that. So I can't say enough about how supportive he's been to not only me professionally, but this organization as a whole. Always there when we need him for certain things with development purposes, and he offers up his staff as much as possible. I rely on Joel Hansen an incredible amount. Tim Sutton, on down the line, all those guys are so supportive of what we do. And sometimes it's a request that I've got to get back to the state of Nebraska, let's say within 24 hours. They drop what they're doing to respond to my request. So I think that relationship will continue, and I understand the need for that, to tell city people to help out with economic development and vice versa. So I think it'll be a very good relationship. I think it should be an easy transition. I know the staff very well with the city. I think I have great trust in them, and hopefully they have in me over the years. We've been working together on different projects too. So I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a challenge, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that in any way, shape, or form. But to have that extra month with Lowell to kind of show me the ropes and what he's doing and the projects that are going on, I think will be very beneficial for everyone involved.
From your perspective as a city, as a economic development director and as a resident of the community, how would you assess his the work that Lowell's done over the years as a city administrator here? I think that a lot of people here, when you talk about Lowell and the job he's done, I think a lot of people here have been very, very complimentary. I know he's had some challenges at different stages of the game here, which I think every city administrator has to go through at some point. I don't think every city administrator has gone through a tornado, but I thought he's handled pretty much everything that has come his way very, very well, and I really cannot find somebody who's been critical of his work as a city administrator. I think he's obviously done a fantastic job here. If I can do what he's done in 17 years, I will be very proud of myself. I highly respect Lowell and everything he's done for Wayne. If you can be in the profession for that long in one community, it just doesn't usually happen. So that says a lot about him and his character, and what he means to the city of Wayne. So Lowell is somebody that I look up to very highly.
Big shoes to fill. I mean, that's maybe kind of cliche, but I'm up for the challenge, and I'm willing. I'm anxious to get going with it.
Yeah, we're talking with Wes Blecke, the incoming city administrator for the city of Wayne, going to be stepping aside as the executive director of the Wayne Area Economic Development and moving all his stuff. Fortunately, he doesn't have very far to move. He's got to move it about a half a block, I guess, to the city office, to his new office there. And we'll be talking more with Wes here in just a second. But I also wanted to remind you that in case you aren't already aware, summertime is here. And so your kid is probably participating in softball or baseball or some other sporting event. And Mikey C Productions has plenty of photos to choose from to help you fill up those scrapbooks. And speaking of scrapbooks, we're going to be adding a scrapbooking service to what we offer. So if you don't have time to update your kids' scrapbooks, you got too many other things going on, you got to take your kids all over the place to ball games and things like that, you need somebody to take care of the work for you, give Mike a call. And that's me, of course. And call Mikey C Productions, Wayne's home for local sports, photos, and more. Check out our photo website at mikeycproductions.smugmug.com to get your favorite photos delivered today. One of the things that I think made this a no-brainer for you, Wes, and I think it's called the home court advantage. You were one of 3 finalists for this position. And the other 2 finalists, from what I've heard from people in the community, I think one interviewed very well, another one not quite as much. But I think the fact that you had not only had your experience as a city administrator prior to coming here, but then to have the opportunity to work alongside the guy that you're going to replace, I think it just made this decision a no-brainer for the committee as far as who they felt they should hire. And I think you'd made the comment when you had your meeting with the public that you've been interviewing for this job for 11 years. So it's I think it just made sense that you would be the guy that they would choose.
Mike, I think it did too. It was that way as well. But the other side of it, I guess, is they went through a pretty rigorous selection process, and it was it was long and drawn out in my mind. And I think they looked at every nook and cranny and reviewed everybody very, very well and on an even playing field. I think I was pleased with how I interviewed for the position. It's kind of awkward sometimes when you're interviewing and you know everybody literally everybody in the room, and they know you very well. But I got to share some things about myself, maybe personal things that not everybody knows about, where I grew up and those types of things, and how I got to Wayne, and why I'm still here, and what I do extracurricular, as in coaching and doing some things with teammates and stuff like that in the community. And I think that all helps. You can say I'm a known commodity. I don't consider myself a commodity, but people know who I am. They know what they're getting. What I say is what I do, and some of those types of things that, I might have been the easy choice, but at the same token, I think I can bring some different things to City Hall. Sometimes you like those outside ideas from afar. We'll just wait and see. There'll be some things that I may surprise some people with, just of ideas, and always staying fresh. I'm a pretty progressive person in that nature. Want to be pushing the envelope a little bit all the time, because the whole thing, if you're not growing, you're dying type deal, and Wayne needs to continue to grow in a steady way. We're not looking for huge population booms or anything like that. I don't think anybody wants that. We just need steady increase so we can sustain what we're doing and keep expanding what we're doing, and it's going to continue to be a great community to live, work, and play in.
From your perspective as the economic development director and now the city administrator, what can a city administrator do to help affect that change? I know the city council obviously and the mayor are your employers, and so you kind of have to go by their wishes. But how can a city administrator influence that growth and work with the city council to make that happen?
Well, you can. You're always suggesting ideas of different things to do, different things the community needs. You're working hand in hand with your economic development people and your chamber of commerce to do some of that stuff. But the best thing you can do is you're going to give your elected officials every amount of information they need on things to make their decisions the best informed possible. There's going to be times when we disagree, that they're going to vote for something that maybe I'm not in favor of, or they're going to go against a recommendation of mine. That's perfectly fine. They're the elected officials and they have the power to do that. But hopefully along that same line, we can have that discourse and learn from one another, and then they make their best informed decision. And like I said, it's not always going to be what I want, but that's I work for them. I work for them, and then they work for the community.
Yeah. And then I guess the last question I would have for you for the podcast this week is, stepping aside after 11 years with the Wayne Area Economic Development, I'm assuming that you've had an opportunity to talk with the Economic Development Board about the situation. And I guess where does the Economic Development go from here now, with knowing that they have to replace you as a city administrator, but then at the same time you're right across the street, so
right.
they've at least got you close by.
Yeah, well, nothing. I've kind of sat back a little bit. I mean, I've prepared myself for this, but until the vote tonight, nothing was in stone. And so just because I was offered the position and I accepted the position, I still had to go through the formality here of being confirmed by City Council. So now we can really do the work. This morning we met as an executive committee with Economic Development to say, kind of outline how would things go if everything went well tonight. And as it did, went very well. So we could be pushing out a job announcement as soon as tomorrow with a job description, and I'm going to help solicit some candidates and things like that. We're going to use a lot of social media to spread the word, and I'm looking forward to seeing the applicants that come in. I will not be part of the selection committee, but I will, I'm sure they'll lean on me for some recommendations too along the way. So I'm excited for that process to happen too, because that is an individual that I will be working with very closely as the city administrator. So they're in capable hands here with Irene and Jesse. I'm sure Irene will kind of do things on an interim basis here. My role now, my thought, I'll be working on a letter of resignation tonight from Economic Development, because it'll be quick, and they know that I'm supposed to start with the city on July 1st as the assistant city administrator, but I'll also be checking in back and forth. What'll probably happen is I'll stay on employed here with Economic Development as well for a few more weeks, and just simply take vacation as I've accumulated it, but be working over at City Hall. So, like I said, I think it'll be a fairly seamless transition on both ways, both over at the city with Lowell being right there, as well as here with, like I said, Irene and Jesse are fully capable, but I can be here to fill in the gaps and things like that until that new person is on board.
And the nice thing for you is the opportunity to work alongside, somebody that you've looked up to as an administrator and something of a mentor and everything over the years. And I'm sure it's going to be a exciting opportunity for you to really sit down next to him and work side by side with him for a month and kind of get a feel for what's going on. And of course, hey, he's a smart guy. He knows when to retire. Right before the budget comes around. And he'll probably let you handle that. But that'd be a great opportunity for you to sit alongside him and work with him on.
Well, and I get a month with Lowell, and then I get a really big crucial time to sit with Nancy and learn everything Nancy's doing as well, as they're going to be hiring the finance director here as well. The process has already started, but I've got to glean everything I possibly can from Nancy as well. Like I said, I've got a background in budgeting and financial management, and I really enjoy budgeting. So I'm sure I'll have my hands in that a little bit, just at least for this first year for sure, to get a handle on what the new person for next year will have to do. But I think the city has a very, very established staff. They've got a lot of seniority there, but they're also going to be losing two very critical people in Lowell and Nancy over the next few months. So got to learn as much as possible while you can with them.
You bet. I guess finally, you've had quite an interesting journey from your growing up in Wakefield to now coming back to the area and this opportunity is. Looking back on everything, did you ever envision yourself in a position like this at some point in your life?
I did in grad school. When I decided I wanted to be a city administrator, I did have my, you start out and you think the best thing you can do is, you just go from community to community to community. You keep going to a bigger community that pays you more. I mean, that's what you're thinking, right? I'm 22, 23 years old at the time or whatever. That was my plan in life. And then you get your first job and you start having kids. And you think, you know what? There are way more important things in life than just hopping from community to community and making more money all the time. I can't be any happier with where I'm at in Wayne. My wife and I, when we came back to the area, we chose to live in Wayne on purpose. I've told this to the people that were interviewing me as well. Selfish purpose that I would love to be the city administrator in Wayne someday, so I need to be in Wayne and not someplace else. School is second to none around here. We wanted our kids to go to Wayne Public Schools. I envied them when growing up in the Wakefield school system. Nothing against the Wakefield school system, but Wayne was cranking out ACT scores like no other, and they still are to this day, and was very jealous of them. And so I thought, my kids are going there, and we're going to see how they can compete with the other smart kids and well-rounded kids in Wayne. And so it's kind of a journey that's been full circle. My parents, her parents, my sisters, her brother, all of our family is right around here. So Northeast Nebraska is exactly where we want to be, and hopefully for years and years to come. Well,
it's been great to have been able to work with you as the economic development over the years that I've been here, and I agree with everything you say about this community. It's a fantastic community. If I could go back in time and could have moved my family here and had my daughter go up through the Wayne education system, I'd do it in a second. But it's been fantastic being a part of this community, and it's been great working with you, and looking forward to you making the move west to the city office there, and seeing you get to work as the new city administrator.
Looking forward to it, Mike. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks a lot, Wes. And that's going to do it for this week's podcast here on Voice of Wayne America. I want to again thank Wes Blecke, who's the now outgoing executive director of the Wayne Area Economic Development and the incoming city administrator for the city of Wayne. And we look forward to him getting his duties started here later on this summer. For more information on what the city has going on, you can check out cityofwayne.org on their website, and also check out their Facebook page as well for news about what's going on in the city. And also check out our Facebook page at Wayne America on Facebook, and check out our website at wayneamerica.com as we continue to tell the stories of people who make this the best town in all of America, and that's right here in Wayne America. Have yourselves a good week, and we'll see you later.